Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today, SPY actually technically finished green at 0.29% green, but watching the overall day today, it's kind of hard to say that it was a green day. I mean, if you look at this, we pretty much just chopped all day long. It was one of the tightest range days at $3.11 of total movement, which most of the day was spent in this range right here from 427.8 to 426 pretty much. It was really like a $2.90 range or something like that. That's where we spent most of our time until power hour. We saw a little peek through and then we dumped by the end of the day still. I mean, this 427.2 level was just pretty much a magnet. Another pretty low volume day. We end up finishing out at about 49 mil total. So not the lowest volume day of the year, but probably one of the third or fourth lowest volume day of the year. The lowest is about 43 mil. So usually with low volume, you assume bullish because essentially that means that nobody is selling. Everybody's just buying. There's no selling. So the buyers basically outweigh the sellers, so it goes up and you don't need a lot of volume because no one's selling. However, when there's no movement up and there's low volume, then you start wondering, is it just kind of a stalemate? Which kind of seems like the last 3 days, that's about what we had here. So we had this really nice push up here, and then we touched the bear market resistance and dumped. And now we're trying to break back up towards it, but we're not really doing a whole lot. So this trend's played out a couple different times though. I have them highlighted here. Most recently was this one right here, which the issue with it, I mean, it looks almost identical too. If you take these four and like these four right here, it's pretty close. The issue with this one right here is this is when CPI came out. So yeah, we probably should have had a green day based off the support line bounce, but we had like an extreme green day. So it threw it off a little bit, but you can say the same thing. We had like a little bit of down, bounced off support and go up. So I am watching for a potential breakout at the end of this week, and that maybe even into the end of the month, September, we could see a rally to 460. I mean, there's definitely, if you zoom out, there's definitely a slow path up to 458 by September 9th, which would be before the next CPI. Even if we slowed our roll a little bit, it's still pretty possible that we could get there. Things I'm watching tomorrow. So I threw this resistance line in here, which this could be the start of the downtrend if we continue. This isn't very aggressive, so this could be like the V-top, the upside down V-top, carrot top, whatever you want to call it, if we start our descent down. So if we continue to obey this resistance line right here, that could be a big deal, and that could set up a drop to the low 400s. So the most important thing that happened today was that bulls held support, this 425.6 right there, 425.5. They bounced right off of it, and then we started going up. So that's pretty bullish. I like that they held that support. That shows some strength, even though obviously it was kind of a weak day. We tried to break through 428, but we just really couldn't do it and hold over it. I mean, we popped through it just at the end there, as you saw, but most of our time was spent below that. So tomorrow, we're going to start with this resistance line. If this is the top, then 427 will be the most that we open up tomorrow, that we ever, like, resistance-wise. We won't break that. I don't know if that's going to happen. I would suspect our resistance line would be a little bit more mild than this, but we'll just see what happens. Support though is going to be key. So the 427.9, 428 that we put in as resistance today now has to act as support. So basically we need to open slightly green tomorrow and just hold that level all day. If we do that, then we're going to look for the bear market resistance at 430.9 tomorrow. If we can break through this and close the week out in the 431s, the 432s especially, then I'm even more bullish going forward. And I might even consider opening some calls to ride into next week if this is what that plays out. However, if we break this support, which I kind of have a feeling we're going to, based just off of this, I expect that we're going to break through this support, and we're going to try to close down here around 425, 426 is kind of what I'm anticipating just based off the weakness of stuff. Looking at SPY weekly, we're still putting in this hammer candle right here, gravestone doji, whichever one you want to call it. It's not really quite a doji because it doesn't have the long wick, but it looks just like these candles right here. So we're getting close to the top. The only thing that's going to negate that is if we do have a bigger green day tomorrow and we can close up in the 431s, 430s, then this candle isn't going to be quite a doji, and it's actually going to be pretty like a bullish continuation candle. So key levels to watch tomorrow is 431.9 resistance, and then the 432.8 is the bear or the bear market weekly resistance. If we close over either of these levels, especially this 432.8, then I would be comfortable next week going long on some calls actually. Probably some like 14 DT calls or something like that. Overall, you can see we do have a clear path up here to like 452 by the first week of September. I mean, even like a mile path, we could see 476 by October if we just continue a nice slow trend up. So it does look like we're starting to peak because we have this massive rising wedge, but that's key to watch. If we do see a bigger red day though tomorrow and we can close especially under 427.2, that key resistance, which is obviously weekly resistance and it's been key all the last 2 days now, then I do feel more comfortable going maybe on some short-term puts. Futures looking about the same. We held pretty strongly this 4280 support. That's going to be key to watch overnight and tomorrow. If we can close and open under that support, then I suspect that we're going to see some bigger red. The actual bull market support is this 4260 though, so that'll be key to watch, especially this 4255 if we can break through that level tomorrow. That'll be very key for the bears going into next week. I was saying that I thought that the futures chart looked more toppy than I did the SPY chart, and I still do agree with that, but we're really just kind of consolidating here. So we're either consolidating for the next leg up or we're consolidating for the next leg down. Which one yet? I'm not quite sure, but I'm definitely watching closely here. The interesting thing is we still have not tested the bear market resistance line yet, which is right here for tomorrow at 43.25, 43.25, yeah. So that's kind of interesting because if SPY does one thing, usually futures does it like either the next day or shortly after. So I know obviously futures and SPY trade a little differently because of the time frames and things like that. So they do have different looking daily charts, but that is interesting to me that it has failed to actually touch that yet. So I don't know if I want to take that as a very bearish omen that we haven't even gotten to that level, or if I should take it as we're consolidating so we can push to that level more appropriately. Same thing with futures weekly. We have a true actual gravestone doji here now. This 4280 level, that's going to be a key level to watch tomorrow. A close below that or trading below it, I think is setting us up for a pretty bearish week. But one thing to note about that, even if we have a bearish week next week, like here when we put the top in, we closed at 45.40, we'll call it, and we opened at 45.38. So, I mean, you could still wait till Monday and be comfortable going long on some puts on Monday if you don't feel like doing it tomorrow. So looking at Apple, Apple's interesting. It is obviously in this really nice ascent to the top here. We broke through the bear market yesterday and today. However, both times we have failed to close over it. So this 147.5 level is super key resistance that I will be keeping an eye on for sure as things go forward. Key support tomorrow is 173.2, which is this about 3-week long support that goes all the way back to here to July 26th that we've been pretty much running in. So this is like even a little bit more of extreme bull support compared to the actual 9, which will be 10 week by next week, by the time we can break through it, support level. So if we can break through that level tomorrow, that would be a pretty bearish omen that would make me think we are going to finally retest the actual red support line and that Apple in general is losing steam. The interesting thing is that we're not really like going up and consolidating, kind of like we had been. Like if you look here, like we would have a big move up and then we consolidate, and we go up, consolidate, go up, consolidate, go up, consolidate. Now it's just like slowly trickling up, and we haven't consolidated yet. So I feel like this is the last push for Apple, and that we're going to soon see the dump. The VIX, we are still just trending right here. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th day that the VIX has pretty much held this 19.5 to 19.7 level as key. So I'm watching tomorrow as we get closer to this resistance of 20.5 tomorrow, what's going to happen. Just quickly touching on Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin it's breaking support now. It is confirming that it's breaking support. We're about to break into the 23,000s right now. So, and that's something to keep a close eye on. So tomorrow, I've been mentioning all week that I'm looking to go long on some 30 DTE puts for a SPY at the money. My case to do that tomorrow of what I would need to see to feel comfortable not waiting till Monday is I want to see obviously this red resistance line broken. I would actually like to see this black resistance line, or sorry, the red support line broken, but the black resistance line, I would like to see that actually held too. Would give me even further confirmation, but that's not like 1000% required. So if we can break through 426 and preferably even touch closer to 424.7 tomorrow on SPY, which will set us up with a below this key 427 level and give us a true gravestone doji on here, and then go to Apple, and Apple can break through this 173.3 level, 173.2 level, and even closer to 172.1 would be ideal, which would give an actual nice true red day. And the VIX can break through 20.5 tomorrow, preferably closer to 21. I would be comfortable opening a small, like probably half-sized 30 DT at the money put position. My goal for that would be to ride it to this gap fill. I believe if we start seeing downside, we're going to go for this gap fill down here at 412.4. Sorry, the actual gap fill would be 412.75, but that's the support line. So that's what I would be going for, and that's how long I'd feel comfortable riding it through. We could see that by September 1st at this current trajectory, so it's about 2 weeks. I feel pretty comfortable with that would pay pretty well, and being at the money would give me time for a little bit of chop and whatnot too. So it would kind of be a position I open and just let it do its thing. Most likely I'd find a price target like 50%, 25% gains. I'd close it and open a new one, so I'd lock in that gains and then kind of just continue that trend until we gap filled, and then from there I would consider reevaluating exactly where we're going. So it's kind of where I'm at for tomorrow. Tomorrow is monthly options expiration. There is a ton of puts down below. So it's about a 2.68 put to call ratio right now. So there's almost pretty much double to triple the amount of puts down below as calls. The interesting thing about this OPEX is going to be that previous OPEXs, the puts have all been pretty much profitable. We've been either at or above or below, the main OI of puts. So people have been pretty profitable. So we would see people take profits, which therefore would cause a rocket effect. And then the MMs has to get in and gamma cover and all that other fancy stuff, the nice gamma rallies that everybody loves. But with so many worthless puts, I'm not quite sure what to expect. I don't know any other time this year where there's been so many puts that are going to be worthless, and we have been so far away from them. So on July 19th, which is back, let's see here. So we were trading right about here in the high 380s to low 390s. I did like just an analysis of what the actual OI was, and I mean there was 100K every 10 strikes pretty much below 400. There still pretty much is about 100K every 10 strikes from 400 to 330. And call wise, I mean like the biggest call volume right now is 430s at 55K. So obviously those are profitable. So my thoughts are we might get a small bump up here in the morning, but I almost just have a feeling that all those calls are going to take profits, which is then going to cause a sell-off effect, and that we're going to maybe actually get a decently red day tomorrow. But I'm not really super versed in the whole put-call ratio and OI and stuff like that to see exactly how it affects stuff. So I will actually be interested to see how tomorrow plays out to see what will happen with that. Like, obviously, when there's OI that's high and it's profitable, I know put-wise people are going to take profits, and that causes a rally because we see that happen quite often on like monthlies and quarterlies and things like that. But having so many worthless, they don't usually have it stacked so heavily the wrong way. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But I'm pretty bearish, and I'm not full bear yet. Still got a ways to go, but I'm getting close. Getting close, that's for sure. So, all right, guys, I will have a weekly analysis up tomorrow night at some point. It will be really long. It'll be going over everything I'm seeing and give the bear and bull case for the next week, and hopefully maybe a position. So, all right, guys, you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning into this video. If you like the video, go ahead and like and follow me just to support the page. I provided my Discord link here. This is the lifetime link, so sometimes there's issues with this. If you have any issues, just go ahead and send me a message and I'll get you a temporary link that'll work. Some benefits of the Discord is I do a pre-market update with some key support and resistance levels to watch. Throughout the day, I'm on there doing live commentary on SPY and the general market with updates about key levels that are broken. I also do live trade alerts. Currently, it's $20 per month, or $228 for the year. If you want to follow me, I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit under Daddy Dersh. Thank you.